Yeah. Hey, everybody. It's Thomas and Tanner Gallant here from Maritime Hockey. And our guest today is Nova Scotia's Alex Grant. Thanks for coming on, Alex, and speaking with us.
No problem. Thanks a lot for having me, guys.
Um, I guess I was talking to Tanner earlier, and it just seemed like yesterday that we were making a couple-hour trip down to watch you play with the Sea Dogs. And do you miss the junior days playing with St. John at Harbor Station, or I guess it's TD Station now? But
Yeah, no, those were the great days. It was we were pretty close to home. Always had family coming in for weekend games, and you get to see your family and be around friends and family a lot more often. So it was that was a nice thing, and the city was great city to play in, and had a lot of fun there.
yeah, I don't know for sure, but were you the first Sea Dog drafted to the NHL?
Not positive on that.
You might
Not
have been the
positive.
first one to play in the NHL. I'm not sure. I just double checking.
Yeah, might have been the first one drafted. I forget, but I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, so if we're talking a little bit now on your KHL season this year in Jokerit. You've been playing there for 3 years now. What was the biggest changes you had to make to your game going over and playing in the KHL?
You have a lot more time with the puck. I guess the ice is not as big anymore. They changed from a lot of the rinks down from 30 meters, so it's like 28 or 26 now, which is still the 28 still a little bit bigger, but originally it was a little more time with the puck and a lot more skating. So you just kind of got to get used to that and realize that you usually have a little more time than you did in North America, and a little more time to make plays. But it's also can be more difficult to defend at times with the size of the ice and the speed.
Yeah, and as a defender, it must be definitely different compared when you have the puck more.
Yeah, the defending is not as enjoyable on the big ice, but it's it's a lot of fun playing with the puck.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess it's kind of going over in all leagues right now, but we've definitely seen a lot of changes with COVID-19 and stuff with the restrictions and stuff. So what challenges has for you personally and the team have overcome this season with all the COVID-19 restrictions?
Yeah, it's been pretty unusual, but they've done a great job here keeping us safe as possible. And we've been in quarantine a few different times this year, but we've been pretty lucky and fortunate to be able to get through this season so far, and just about to start the playoffs tomorrow. So it's been a long season with all the delays, but we've made it to this point, so it's been pretty good.
Yeah. And I just don't know because I'm not 100% sure myself, but what is is it the league rules in regard to COVID-19 is a lot like the NHL's rules, or is there something different compared to back here in North America?
I'm not positive what they are in the NHL right now, but it's kind of different. Like in Finland, they have a little bit different restrictions than in Russia, so we've kind of been affected a little bit worse than other teams, because if we have one guy that is exposed to it, then basically everyone has to go into quarantine, and
Yeah.
it doesn't work the same way in Russia. But they've been doing lots of quarantines there as well, and self-isolation. So it's pretty similar. I don't think it would be as strict as North America.
So we've been watching you throughout the season, and looking at the lineups every night, you've been up and down. You kind of might playing maybe first line one night, then you might be on third line the next. How do you adjust to that role as a player, and how does it benefit the team heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, just kind of just lots of guys here that are in and out, mixing lines and things like that. It's kind of been normal here throughout my career. So it's just something that you don't really worry about. You try to go out there and do what you can, play the best you can play. And it can get difficult if you're playing with different people every night, but there's a lot of good players so basically anyone that you're paired with here is going to be a good player.
Yeah. And I guess going back to the playoffs here, and you guys had got the news last week that all your playoff games will be away now. I guess you're playing all in Russia. What kind of impact does that make going into this playoff run? And do you have to prepare any different going into an away playoff game compared to being at home?
Yeah, it's gonna be different being in Rush for the entire playoffs. But we really missed our fans this year at home because we were playing home games without fans, so it was kind of it was difficult. I mean, it was very difficult to say the least. Not a ton of energy, and just not an easy way to play. So I think it honestly benefits us in a way playing all the games in Russia because there's a little more. I believe they're allowed like 25 or 50% capacity, depending on what city you're playing in. But it makes it a little bit easier to play, and I think especially in playoffs, you kind of want that atmosphere.
Yeah. So your playoffs start tomorrow. So heading into the first round, you're playing a familiar team with Lokomotiv that you guys beat in the playoffs last year. This time around, you guys are the lower seed. So what do you guys expect from Lokomotiv coming out of the gate?
Yeah, they were very young last year. They're still pretty young, but they have a lot of the same guys, and they're all obviously a year older, and they've grown quite a bit as a team, and if you look at a lot of their players, they've all increased their point totals, and they've clearly grown as players and as a team. So it's going to be a tough task, but we've had a little bit of success against them, so we kind of got to. It's nice that we can have that confidence, and we obviously have to play very solid defensively and special teams.
Yeah, and just looking at your resume for playoff experience, back in 2009, you were close to going to the Memorial Cup. I think you were one game away. You had a nice playoff run with Wheeling in the ECHL and a few playoff runs in the AHL. For me and Tanner, we've never played organized hockey. How much value does playoff experience have?
Yeah, it's nice to have some games under your belt, but every year is different. But you just you get in those situations where your season's on the line, and it is nice to have a little bit of experience in those situations. But sometimes no experience might be better for some guys. They're just going out there and playing and not thinking about the past, or not worrying about what has happened or in this situation before. But obviously, if you can have the experience, it's nice to have it, but you got to make sure that you do something with it.
Yeah, and I think that's the only questions we have for today. We want to thank you, Alex, for coming on and talking with us for a few minutes about your playoffs. We want to wish you best of luck, and you've definitely done the Maritimes proud this past few years in your career.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, guys, and appreciate what you guys do.
Thank you.